Hi, we the Ohio guys here on location in Los Angeles, California. I'm Christian Ocampo, and today I'm being joined today by Petrea Burchard.
Yep.
How you doing, Petrea?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Should I take this?
Go ahead if you want.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I'm doing very well, and it's a scorcher today. We're lucky we found a shady place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, so we've got a few questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, what's it like working in the industry today?
Today, well, first of all, Tenchi Muyo was recorded 20 years ago. So I worked in the anime industry 20 years ago, and I haven't worked in it since. There's different parts of the voiceover industry, and I still do a lot of commercials. I can tell you what that's like. But it's very much the same. You usually work in the studio, and that actually it's not very much the same. A professional studio has engineers and snacks, and as the voiceover talent, all you have to do is go in and do the best job you can do. But a lot of people have home studios now, and they record in their houses. I have a big, ugly sound booth in my dining room. It looks like the TARDIS in its pajamas, you know. It's got pillows on top to keep the sound. As one engineer told me, you want to make it sort of dead, a dead space. And I go in there, I have my little lamp so I can see, and that's where I record other things like this week I'll be recording a video game, and I'll do it in there. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So since you really mentioned Tenchi Muyo, what was it like working at both the TV shows and the films and those other OVAs?
That was really fun. I think sometimes people are a little disappointed that I don't remember every bit of it. It was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago. But the first couple of episodes are the ones that people ask me about the most, because Matt Miller and I didn't use our real names. And that was because we were both members of the Screen Actors Guild at the time, and the show was not at the time being produced under a Screen Actors Guild contract. So we asked the producers if they would get a contract, and they said they would, but they had a deadline and they had to start recording. So we started recording. We used pseudonyms, and they did get us the contract that we asked for. It was that was when we worked for Pioneer, and it was a great working experience. After the first couple of episodes, when we tried working in the studio together, they separated us because we would, real people talk over each other, you know? Like I said something, you laughed. That's normal. In the studio, it doesn't work, because if you need to cut something or change something and one person's talking over another, it doesn't work. You have to have the voices separate.
Oh.
So after the first 2 episodes, we worked in the booth alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll mention this one to you, already, but what's it like working on Zero Experiments Lane?
Okay. I vaguely remember that. For Lane, I was only in the studio once. It was a very small background voices job. I think there were other actors there, and we just, background voices are like extras, only audio extras. So you hear people murmuring in a crowd, for example, or, you're at a hospital and you hear somebody over the loudspeaker, but that's not really a character. It's just, Dr. So-and-so, report to OR. Those are background voices, and that's what I did for Lane. It was a nice studio, I remember. It was dark in there. People were friendly. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned to me that you are also a book writer.
Yes.
So can you tell me what it was like writing for books?
Okay. I've always been a writer. It was my major in college, and acting was my minor. But when I finished school, I really felt dedicated to acting, and I wanted to pursue that career. And I was pursuing an on-camera career. I was just lucky to get Tenchi Muyo. I didn't even... it just kind of fell into my lap, to be perfectly honest. I was really lucky to get it. And at some point, about, I don't know, 8 years ago, I became interested in writing about my career because I had always had that skill. I had developed it in college, and I always liked to write in a journal and write things down. So I started writing a column for an actor's website called Nowcasting. And the column was called Act As If. And what did I do? Nobody's going to be able to see this. But this is the book that I made out of the column. And this is my novel, which is a story about a failing Hollywood actress who is, she's just turning 40. She's really unhappy. She loses her job, gets drunk, gets on a plane, falls through a gap in time, and saves King Arthur's life. So it's a sort of a modern day look at King Arthur, who in my story does not have a castle. He lives in a war camp. So it's not where a Hollywood actress should be. But anyway, I've always liked writing, and it has it's what I do when I'm not acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there anything coming out that you can't talk about, or anything you want to plug in this time?
Are we coming to the end of this already? That's too bad. I'm having a nice time, and it's not that hot yet. It's going to be 100 degrees here today. Yeah. I'm writing another novel, but I can't really talk about it yet. It takes a long time to write a novel. Camelot and Vine took me years. And I can't tell you about the video game yet because it's not finished. I'm recording this week, but I will certainly post about it on Facebook, Petrea Burchard on Facebook, and also PetreaBurchard.com is my website, and
Do you have Twitter?
Petrea Burchard on Twitter, yeah, and that's about it. I do post pictures on Instagram, and I'd be happy. It's Petrea BS on Instagram. I'm happy for people to follow me, but I really don't follow back unless you're a photographer. For that's my fun little thing. It's not really social networking for me. It's looking at photos. And I am an amateur photographer, so I like to post photos as well. That's what I use Instagram for.
Okay.
But I guess that's not cool. Nowadays, everybody's on Tumblr or Snapchat.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so old-fashioned.
There, that's same to you with your Snapchats.
Okay.
Is there anything else, again, you want to plug in? Just, the floor is yours.
Okay, one more thing. It's 20 years since we started recording Tenchi Muyo, and since I got to play Ryoko. And over those years, the fans have continued to be nice to me, write to me, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, send me emails, invite me places. I think the anime fans are really great. It's an all-inclusive group. People are nice to each other and accepting of each other, and I really, really appreciate the kindness that I've received from anime fans. Oh, I know what else to plug.
What?
I don't know when this is going online, but I'm going to be at Anime Fargo in just under 2 weeks, September 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th in Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is it your only con for that time or this year?
It's the only one, yeah, it's the only one I've been invited to. I haven't really pursued cons, but when I'm invited, I go if I can. I like them. it's fun to meet people in person.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
All
And I think that's everything.
right. Well, I'm glad you were able to mention on that stuff.
Me too.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us at another edition of the Ohio Guys. Hope to see you again. I'm Christian,
I'm Petrea.
and we'll see you next time. Bye.